So, hello everyone. This video, shout out to the people that went down to Oakland. There they are. I'm going to enlarge this for a second here. This was the tweet that they put out. If you support racial justice, vote no on Proposition 22, right? So they gathered yesterday right behind that massive billboard there that says, if you tolerate racism, delete Uber. So what was this protest all about, my friends? A ride-hailing company places ads proclaiming, if you tolerate racism, delete Uber. You may have seen those billboards amid a fight to avoid classifying drivers as employees. Ride-hailing drivers and supporters gathered in Oklahoma, California on Wednesday to denounce Uber Technologies Incorporated for anti-racism billboards it has put up in 13 major cities around the country, calling the company hypocritical as it fights a California ballot measure that would require it to classify drivers as employees, to protest the billboards that read, if you tolerate racism, delete Uber. The drivers and activists carried their own sign that read, if you support racial justice, vote no on Proposition 22. Again, it said, if you support racial justice, vote no on Proposition 22. Organizers of the protest said the company's billboard campaign is disingenuous because the company refuses to provide benefits to drivers who are disproportionately immigrants and minorities. They cited at least one study by the UC Santa Cruz Institute for Social Transformation and some advocacy group partners that showed 78% of the drivers in San Francisco are people of color. Another survey by Unidos US found that 40% of Latinos around the nation had done some kind of gig work. So they find these ads rather hypocritical. There they are with no on 22 behind the billboard, and it says that if you support racial justice, vote no on Proposition 22. Now, my sponsor, I give them a shout out, Cover, K-O-V-E-R, give them a shout out quickly. If you are with DoorDash or any of these logos that you see up here, Instacart, Postmates, Grubhub, Uber, etc., go and check it out. The link will be underneath the video. You get a free 1 month if you go through my link, and it's basically a protection plan. You already have your auto insurance, you have your health insurance, maybe Blue Shield, but now why not think of a protection plan? Something goes wrong, right? If you get deactivated, they send off the legal letters telling them, hey, my client got deactivated, you need to reinstate them, maybe because of wrongful comments made by a rider, right? If you end up in the hospital, they're covering 80% of your paycheck. You can advance yourself monies. There's an option there. They have 24/7 health services, paid time off. This all starts for $7. Mileage tracking, it goes on and on and on. If your car ends up in the auto body shop, they're covering 80% of that. Go check it out. The link is below. Now, back to the article. Who do we have in the house? We have Hey Big Phil. We got Dan. We got Jason Ferris in the house. Alex S. Flash Dora the Explorer, or Flash Dara Koshashawi. Next Freeman, Ed Steigelmeyer, Wicked Hustle Guy, Kevin Cobineau. Fullerton, California. We got Orange County in the house. Cool. Got Dan from San Luis. I hope I said that right. How are you guys doing? So, hey, hats off to these guys for going out there and bringing this to the California's attention, right? Again, they said organizers of the protest said the company's billboard is disingenuous because the company refuses to provide benefits to drivers who are disproportionately immigrants and minorities. They cited at least one study. Another survey by Unidos US found that 40% of Latinos around the nation had some kind of gig work. These billboards are hypocritical and offensive, but the truth is Uber and Lyft have been exploiting drivers and violating our rights for years now, said Michaela Edwards, an Uber driver. And We Drive Progress member from Oakland, in a statement. Proposition 22 was written to make rich CEOs richer and workers like me work twice as hard to get half as far. A housing activist who is running for Oakland City Council said at the protest they are exploiting our labor for their wealth, right? And I stand behind them, whether you're yes or no on 22, right? The biggest awakening is what the biggest decision that California citizens have to make is going to really boil down to one powerful point, right? And that is that California citizens are bailing out Uber and Lyft. Why? Because between 2014 and 2018, they have failed to pay in $413 million that are owed by Uber and Lyft to the state of California that were not paid into the unemployment insurance taxes. And California citizens had to bail out Uber and Lyft. All of these PUA checks that you got, Uber didn't pay in, right? This is 2018 alone. What Uber didn't pay in, $114 million, $835,000 that Uber and Lyft did not pay into the system. So who carries this? The taxes go up for California citizens. Why? Because these monies are not paid in by Uber and Lyft. And this is the number one thing that California residents, when they go to the voting booth, need to know, right? You need to know this, that you are making up for all of those fees that they are not paying in. And prime example, when the pandemic broke out, there was nothing paid into the system by Uber and Lyft into the safety net. And what happened is that California citizens had to bail the gig workers out. For all of you that received your monies, right, and more, California citizens were carrying you. And California citizens' taxes go up because companies such as these are not paying into the system, right? It's a great article. I have a video coming out about this tonight. And California citizens should be aware, right, that if yes on 22, that's brought by the company so that they can carry on not paying into the system. No on 22 means that California citizens can put down their foot and say, stop, it's time you pay in. We are not going to pay higher taxes. We are not going to bail out Uber and Lyft again. So I call upon all California citizens, vote no on 22, right? Hammer time. And you guys got to watch my video on this tonight. It goes into a lot of length. So there are tons and tons of reasons why California citizens should vote no. And I'm with my brothers and sisters here, right? I applaud them. I think what they did here is great. Right in front of that billboard. This billboard is a distraction. This is like, we care about racism. Delete the Uber app. What does it say? If you tolerate racism, delete Uber. Dan, thank you. Thumbs up. Support and share. Yeah, let's get this out, right? Let's, like Dan said, support others and share. Get the videos circulating. You have your Twitter accounts. You have your Instagram accounts. You have your Facebook accounts. If you want to go and join your Facebook groups, right? Just type in Uber, your city, Uber Las Vegas, Uber Los Angeles. There's tons of groups. You can then join. And when you join, they say, are you a gig worker? Are you a Lyft driver? Uber? One or two questions, and you're in. You're part of that group. You get to see on grassroots level what's going on in that city. Every city has these Facebook pages. That's where you go and drop these type of links, right? Because you've got $180 million war machine on the one side, right? And you got people like this who are out there engaging the media, right? They probably got a ton of media attention. It's an amazing photo. If you look at this is like a pink sky. It's literally what it's like outside right now. I'm going to try and take a picture, right? Down in Long Beach, where I was yesterday, it was raining ash. The skies were orange, right? The smoke from the Angeles Oaks fires. I used to own a ton of property. I had about 600 acres in Angeles Oaks. Thank God I got rid of that, right? Because all of that shit's just burning down. It's bad, right? So I had a lot of commercial properties, a lot of residential properties, a lot of land, even a lake. And the lake that I owned, I supplied the water rights to the whole town. So I controlled the water board. I gave the fire station free access to the lake that I owned so that they could pick up waters. And when there were fires going on, they would just call me, hey, go in, don't have to ask. Just pick up water and take it out. So they would fly into this lake that I owned. There was a big lake around Angeles Oaks. As you come up the 38, there it was. Most of that property up there I owned back in 2008, right? Thank God, sold, gone, right? Thank God, because all of that now is just inferno, burning. If you look out the window here, I just want to show you what it looks like to get an idea. I mean, these are not blue skies, my friend. Look at that. It's like a hazy pink. It's the same, see there? It's the same pink, hazy, smoky fire, right? That's right by Mikasa, right? So all smoky skies. Just want to show people that are in Vegas or in other states what it looks like here in California. Real pictures, live pictures right now. I just took the pictures. Dan says we can win together if you are talking to the customer base, not the Uber corporates. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. If you talk and engage with the people and make them understand why it's a no on 22, we'll win this hands down. Now, they are scared. They spent another $70 million. That shows they are scared. They have their own surveys that they're doing conducted by Uber, paying for their own surveys, showing that they are winning. You can't believe a word. They are going to be smacked down. This is going to be the most money spent in history and the biggest defeat. Watch, because what we have coming is amazing. I have called upon actors and actresses to make videos, NBA players that I've spoken to make videos. I've spoken to musicians, famous rock stars, Foo Fighters, hip-hop stars, clients of mine to make videos, no on 22. We are going to pound these MFs right at the finishing line, right? And how are we going to do it? We're going to win on social media. We are going to win the hearts and the souls of California citizens. And California citizens should not pay higher taxes. California citizens should not ever have to bail out Uber and Lyft again because they failed to pay $413 million into the system between 2014 and 2019. And that is what a lot of drivers don't understand, right? You're getting all of this support. How did you get the support? Because California citizens bailed you out. Uber and Lyft were not for you. They weren't there for you during the pandemic. And you're still willing to vote yes on 22. That is hypocritical. That is double standards. That means, where are my ethics? You got to question, where are my ethics, right? I'm taking the PUA. California is helping me. The citizens are helping me. And Uber and Lyft are screwing me over. Where are my ethics when I vote yes on 22? You're voting for the same old. And it just shows I am a sucker for punishment if I vote yes on 22, because I ignore everything on this side that Uber and Lyft has done to me and my family for years. You're willing to wave that goodbye. Why? Because you believe you are an independent contractor. You are not an independent contractor, right? The closest to IC, the closest to independent contractorship is only in California and only right now. It's because AB5 is out there and Uber and Lyft rewrote the apps to allow you to create multipliers and dictate your own rates. That's the closest we ever got to independent contractorship. Kiss that goodbye in November. Goodbye, and you're back to the same old, making even less than before. Right now, they have the excuse to pay you the minimum wage, $13 per hour. Maybe you were making 20. Right now, you're making 30 to 40. I'm not making this shit up, my friends. I'm not making this shit up. This is reality. This is what's happening right now, right? That you are maybe making $30 to $40 an hour right now because we pushed AB5 because they're trying to comply with independent contractorship, right? And the law says that you only have to get the minimum. Well, guess what? November is going to roll around and you will only get the minimum. You're not going to have a multiplier. You're giving Uber and Lyft the biggest excuse to once again manipulate your salaries. But some drivers just don't see this. And California citizens, you got to stand behind the people and not buy the BS of the companies, right? What are these companies doing for you, California citizens? 30 million plus, 20.9 million eligible voters, right? You're paying higher taxes. You're paying more into the system because Uber and Lyft put you in that position during the pandemic. They paid nothing into the system from 2014 to 2019, 0.00, a lack of $413 million. Now has to be picked up by the California citizens. So smack them out with a no vote, right? Show these companies who's boss. Show them who is in the front seat. You, the California citizens, right? That is who I'm calling upon. Chris is in the house. Says Biden-Harris 2020. Wicked hustle guy. We will win. You remember that song, Queen? We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting to the end, because we are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, because we are the champions of the world. We will rock them. We will rock them. Yeah, we will. We're going to rock that foundation of Uber and Lyft. Whoa, there's an earthquake going on here in San Francisco at the Uber headquarters. We will rock you. Rock you. We will rock Uber and Lyft. Trust me. We are going to bring them the energy in the next 60 days. Abstract Echo. Wow, let me just tell you. That gift, my friends, and I'm going to give Abstract Echo linear fusion art. Check out my last video. I put the text about linear fusion art. This is art that this gentleman has created in his super creative mind, right? And I made a video live with him in Long Beach yesterday. Came down there, gave me a gift that he made. Paul Figueroa. Let's see what Paul Figueroa. If Paul Figueroa sends me something, I got to shout it out. He says, what is it here? Oh, somebody posting under my videos, I see. Yeah, I agree. Thank you. You know, people spam your channels. So let me show you what Paul Figueroa is. Thank you, Paul. But my team usually clean this up at every day. So those messages go. I don't know how that one slipped through the radar. So watch this. On my other channel, I'm just switching to another channel. You see there's a message there. It says elegant girls shop online. Somehow that guy slipped through. Usually YouTube catches that. So what we do is we go to the person, Jeff Parker. There he is, Mr. Jeff Parker. We're going to give Jeff Parker the royal flush. Here, Jeff, this one's for you. Let me see what you look like. He's spamming all these sex ads. This freak show has his kids. This guy's in Brazil. I can see it. He's writing Portuguese, right? So there he is in the dark shadows. That's him, Jeff Parker there. I want to show you, Jeff Parker, what you look like. There you are. Quick flush, everyone. There goes Jeff Parker, blocked. No more sex ads in my channel. Gone. Adios. Blocked. Thank you, Paul. Thanks to Paul, we gave him a royal flushing in a live feed. Bye. Bye-bye. All right. So, back to life here. Back to the stream. We've got Jabali, Okpara in the house. Big Phil's in the house. Jabali Okpara says yes on Proposition 22. And we're going to ask Jabali, why do you vote yes on 22? And I'll tell you why he votes yes, because he thinks he's an independent contractor. So he hasn't read the fine print, right? When you think you are an independent contractor, right? When you think you have independence, this is not true independence, man. True independence is when, like, you have your private license or limo license and you set your own rates. I just helped someone this morning set up their company. I helped someone yesterday set up their own private company, right? Helping a lot of people to true independence. So, Jabali, you may want to do some soul searching and some digging there, my friend, right? Because you ain't an independent contractor. You think you are, because you can choose your hours, right? And that, my friends, has to stay. There's no compromise. You know, when you're looking for the best of the best, you have to put money into the safety net. You cannot have California citizens bailing out people all the time, right? And you got to pay into the system. So Uber and Lyft have to figure out how they pay into the system. You got to be able to keep your choices, right? You got to be able to keep your hours. And most importantly, you got to be able to set your rates. If we can take the best of what California proposes, the best of what Uber and Lyft has, and add a couple of extra features, then we have what I call my new gig hybrid law, which I have sent to the Attorney General suggesting how this bill should be drafted, right? As a real business owner driver, right? With my input, with people's inputs. But to go and sign off on yes on 22, you ain't done the homework, my friend, right? It's using that term way too loosely. I mean, really understand what a true independent contractor is. And also in tomorrow's video, AB 2257, right? That was passed on September the 4th, just 4 or 5 days ago. Does not apply to AB5, does not apply to the gig companies, but it gives a lot of people exemptions, right? Who does it give exemptions? This is a 16-minute article, if I had to read it out. It exempts business-to-business exemptions, single engagement business-to-business exemptions. You can read up about that in my video that I make tomorrow morning. Referral agency exemptions, professional services exemptions, music industry and performer exemptions with AB 2257. And by the way, 2257 sweeping changes to AB 5 independent contractor law. So these are additional laws brought out to make specific exemptions. Who is not exempted? Guess who is not exempted from AB 2257? Let me read that to you. Which industries were excluded from AB 2257? AB 2257 does not include exemptions for a number of industries that have engaged in extensive lobbying efforts that predate even the passage of AB 5. Such industries include, amongst others, gig economy companies, franchising, trucking, and the motion picture and television industries. These are excluded from AB 2257. I make a separate video about that, right? A complete separate video. But back to the real heroes, the people that are willing to go out there and protest on the street. I'm giving you a huge shout out here, my brothers and sisters. An Uber spokesman said the company had no comment. Obviously, they had no comment. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when they protest your ass and call you out and show that you're hypocrites? What can a spokesman do? No comment. No comment. But the Yes on 22 campaign sent a statement from Porter, chair of the Sacramento chapter of the National Action Network, a civil rights organization, in opposing Prop 22. Sacramento politicians and their special interest backers are not only going against the wishes of these drivers, they are willing to sacrifice hundreds of thousands of jobs held by drivers of color. Right? So that's their threatening point. Dennis Torres in the house. How are you? Good to see you. All right, I'm going to literally go 30 minutes here, ladies and gentlemen. And then I got to rock and roll. Proposition 22, which will be on the ballot in November, seeks to exempt gig companies from having to comply with a California law that would require the companies to classify their drivers and delivery workers as employees instead of independent contractors. Instead, the measure would give drivers additional benefits that fall short of full employee benefits and protections. This week, the LA Times reported that $181 million was spent by Uber and Lyft, DoorDash, etc., Instacart for this initiative, the costliest in California history. Uber rolled out its billboard campaign August the 28th, 57th anniversary of March on Washington. At the same time, the company pledged $10 million to support Black-owned business, right? Because they realize they can't get away. They're going to start giving back. Solidarity. Dan says, what the corporations are trying to stop is our ability to coordinate and voice us from having the ability to force that will be heard. So please make it heard. Circulate this link in Twitter, in Facebook. Let's get it out. We've got to make noise, 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 more noise. Connect with the California citizens. Connect with the 20.9 million voters. And I'm going to make a personal appeal to every California voter right now. If you, sir or madam, ladies and gentlemen, are part of this 20.9 million eligible voters, if you fall into that category, please go vote in November. Firstly, you'll be voting for the next president, probably the most important part, but then study the propositions very, very closely. I haven't studied all the props on that ballot yet, but I can tell you what, when it comes to Proposition 22, ladies and gentlemen, I have done my homework. You, the California citizen, should not have to bail out Uber and Lyft every time. Between 2014 and 2019, they failed to pay in $413 million of taxes and monies into this unemployment fund. It was not there. You, the taxpayer of California, had to bail them out, and we say no. That ends right here, right? Your taxes should not go up because you have to bail out companies like Uber and Lyft that are not paying in and that have patents overseas or offshore accounts, not even paying a cent of taxes, just declaring loss after loss after loss, not putting anything into the economy, and having you, the California citizen, have to carry them. If you are one of those 20.9 million citizens and you come across this video and you hear me now at the 29th minute, I ask you kindly to vote no on 22. Do not be misled by the ads that Uber and Lyft is putting out there. Do not be misled by the $180 million that they are using to try and brainwash you and playing false and manipulative ads, right, that stir up your emotions. Understand what this is about. This is about companies that are not willing to pay into the system. And you should, as a California resident, not bail them out. Now, if you are a California small business owner, medium business owner, you know that you have to pay that employment tax. You have been paying. They don't want to pay. You have been paying. They don't want to pay. You should not be bailing out the ones that are not paying. So vote no on 22, right? And what these people are doing here, we're going to rally behind them. They say, if you support racial justice, vote no on Proposition 22. Done right behind one of those highly, highly hypocritical billboards that they're putting out, pretending that they are part of this whole racial movement and have your back. Just all smoke and mirrors. $180 million goes into the smoke and mirrors campaign, trying to brainwash you. Be smarter than that. The pharmaceutical companies tried that with $100 million in 2006. The big oil companies that are paying no taxes whatsoever, supersonic CEO salaries. The fat cats are getting fatter, right? And they're not putting any money into the system. They're moving the money out of the United States into offshore accounts. You got to stop that. No on Proposition 22, right? Thank you, citizens of California, for giving me this moment to talk to you, for trying to show you where we are coming from. Listen to the people. There you got one Trump supporter in the house. His Haloptic wins, right? Remember, you get one shout out, right? I'm not going to delete somebody that says Biden or Trump, but when you want to start spamming this channel, it's not a political channel. Then I close up, right? Same goes for both. If you put 20 times Biden Harris in my channel, I shut it down. If you put 20 times Trump is here, I'm not here. I say freedom of speech. Oh my God. Dude, here's my young son. Dad, look at my grades. Wow. All A's. He says, I'm going to Harvard. Dude, I love his confidence. I love that kid's confidence. I'm calling him on FaceTime. He doesn't know. Dude, I am so proud of you. That is amazing. I love your confidence when you say I'm going to Harvard University. Well, you can go to Yale, you can go to Harvard, you can go wherever you want with those grades, my friend. You're a hardworking chick. There's El Gato. Cool. Hey, awesome job. We got to celebrate that, right? Just keep those A's coming.
Keep them up.
Keep those A's rolling, and then also have fun. When you're at school, you're also supposed to have fun, and obviously it's very difficult with all these Zoom meetings and not being able to see your buddies. But it looks like you really have the time to focus on grades. And running around playing basketball and doing crazy stuff. And I mean, you got to be able to skateboard, watch your NBA, have fun, dude.
I mean, like, sometimes my classes end really early, so me and my friends just hop on Call of Duty.
You do good. Good. I mean, why not? Why not jump on Call of Duty if you don't have classes, right? As long as you keep those good grades coming. How can a parent deny you fun and freedom if you're bringing those type of grades, right?
I'm going to Harvard. I gotta put in the time for fun,
Exactly. If you're going to Harvard, you got to have time for fun right now and keep producing those great grades. I love you. Awesome. Well done.
Love you,
I'm on my way. Love you. Bye. Just such a cheerful, happy guy. That's what I love about him. Such a cheerful, happy guy, right? And he's a little character that cares about the world. Or UCLA. Wicked Hustle guy says, or UCLA is better, right? Sure. Personally, would I want him to go to Harvard? No, it means he has to go to Boston. I want him right here on my doorstep, USC or UCLA or University of Santa Barbara, 30, 40 miles. I want to see my kid every weekend. I don't want them to go off to Massachusetts or New York or Yale. Dan, that is so cool, dude. Thank you. $20 for his good grades. You super cool. Will do. Thank you, Dan. You're too kind, dude. Thank you. That'll make him. You've already made him super happy. Bum smack DC. Right off the bat, when AB 5 took effect in January, Uber and Lyft defied the law, thus not paying what is due to drivers. They are constantly ripping us off and getting away with it. Correct. I mean, and this is such a simple, clear statement made by Bumsmack DC, right? Just sums it up right there. Boom, that's the way it is. How can you argue what he says? That's what it's about. There's a law put in place and they're not abiding by it. That should tell you volumes about the company. So they're not paying into the system, huge deficit in the system, no safety net during the pandemic, and California taxpayers have to bail them out. It's wrong, right? Now, just adding to that, totally 100% correct statement of Bumsmack. I like that name, Bumsmack DC. And DC, that's my birth town, right? I was born in Georgetown Hospital. My father was a professor at Georgetown University. So I was there as a young kid till the age of 3. But what I want to add to that is that they know that they were not complying with AB5. So they were trying to, Dan, thank you, will do. I'm gonna call him right now. I hope he's not in a Zoom meeting. Might have jibbed. Hey, do you want to say thanks to Dan? He gave you He gave you $20 for your great grades.
Dude, no way.
He did.
Thank you, Dan.
Good. So
They're the same dude. That guy's so epic.
He's so epic. I love it. That's a good word, epic. Well, that's very kind of him, right?
Yeah, it's so nice.
Awesome. Good. Keep it up.
Dan, I said thank you so much.
Dan, he says.
That's really nice.
Thank you so much. He's a very.
I thought you were talking about Danu, and I was like, don't give me this money.
Cool. Okay, I love you. I'll let you go back to school. I got to get rocking and rolling. I love you.
I'm on my break right now, so.
Oh, you're on your break? Okay, good. You chill a little bit.
Right.
Good. Love you.
you,
Bye.
Bye.
Dan. Thank you, sir. He's a happy guy. So, straight A's. He's proud, and he was saying that he got like in some grades he has like 110 or 120% because he gets extra bonuses. So he says even if he'd screw up, he's still at 100%. So kids are very, very, very different. When I was a kid at school, we never had to participate in these Zoom meetings and work from home, work from your kid's bedroom. Nah. NOP's in the house. 1998 Blue Dog. Need to tell companies supporting 22 that you won't buy their product. It's a good one. That's a powerful statement. Dennis Torres says he should be called Ryan, aka AS. The lecture room says, besides good grades, one needs to be an autodidact these days. It's Moose says, imagine 1 million drivers in the United States not having Social Security taken out because of them not paying into the Social Security. Exactly. Precisely. So we have a lot of, I have a great press release coming out against Uber and Lyft because of one of their drivers that, literally tries to threaten you into, and that's going to go national, tries to threaten you because of yes on 22, or threatened me directly, right? But little does that kid know, he must be in his early 20s, that same day, 4 or 5 phone calls later, a few $100s later, multiple wheels were set in motion. Telling you, it's not going to be fun being in your shoes. That's all I can say. So, my friends, 40 minutes. Let me just finish up with this article. Oh yeah, we did. We covered this entire article. Protesters call Uber's anti-racism billboards hypocritical and offensive. They went out there. They have their own Twitter channel. You should have your own Twitter channel. Boom, there they are. Massive, massive statement in Oakland, California yesterday. And I stand behind you. I stand behind you. I stand behind you. I stand behind you. I understand. I stand behind you. I stand behind you. I stand behind you. I stand behind you. And I stand behind you because I understand what you are fighting for. I understand your message. I get it loud and clear, and I support it. Right? And thank you for doing this because you got ton and ton of media exposure. And you got another video supporting you. Why? Because you put in those hours. You stand for something. You're dedicating your hours here collectively. They're not getting paid for this. No, they're doing this on their clock. This person I can see even traveled there. It's got a travel bag, right? Maybe came from San Francisco or some other state and is staying over in Oakland, but wanted to be at that protest, wanted to stand for something. So that travel case there tells me these people, one or two of these people traveled from far. Good for you. Good for the guy here with the dyed white hair. I like it. Looks like a YouTuber almost. Every single one of them is wearing a mask, 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 wearing a mask. Thank you for wearing a mask. Thank you for being responsible. Yeah, Dan's a character, dude. You guys, if you want to do yourself a favor, you want to understand this guy on how he can handle situations. This guy is so freaking street smart, right? You go and Google, right? There it is. Google, you know that website, right? Google Dan the driving man, right? And you will see 5-10 postings, the very first posting, the next posting. Go do yourself that favor. Go and read up about Dan and understand how he handled the situation. There are not many people, many people, I can tell you, 90% of the people would have panicked in the situation that he was put in, would have panicked, and it would have gone south, it would have got ugly. But because he is so street smart, because he's out there on the streets with his electric vehicle, driving insane miles, he's got his cost down to 10 cents per mile. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's out there driving veterans, helping people, giving free rides to a lot of veterans. Free rides, donating rides, helping humans. He's out there on the street, grassroots level, and understands the law of the land, the law of the streets. And when put in a critical, dangerous situation, just read on how he handled that. Just read. It'll blow your freaking mind. Google Dan the driving man. Best picture I've seen. I love it, dude. I'm today, filled with energy. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We're going to rock on. That's it. We're going to rock on. And let's get this pandemic over and done with. 2021. Want to buy those t-shirts? You know, there's a website called $6 t-shirts. They're all funny t-shirts. The one just shows like 2020. I think it's 1 out of 5 stars, right? It says like 5 stars, 1 out of 5 stars, 2020. Get rid of 2020. 2020, could you please go out the back door? 2021, please, could you open up the doors? You know, can we get there, please, now? Thank you. I love that sentence. Hey, Big Phil, we stand together. Together we are stronger. Do you know how many millions of drivers are out there? Can you imagine you were standing in solidarity with your brothers and sisters? You were like this. If everyone would say, what are those couple of weasels on the top? What would Dara do? What would Logan Green, Tony West, John Zimmer do if these millions of drivers just started turning to social media and circulating the stories, right? They wouldn't stand a single chance. They would literally be pissing $180 million into the wind. $180 million down the sewage pipes. NOP says, I'm going to email you today. Prof, I need some legal advice on my PUA hearing. Absolutely. You're welcome. I'll read it. I'll give you my opinion, right? It's always good to get a couple of opinions. All right, amigos. Meine Freunde, my vrienden. Thank you. We're on the 45 minutes. Got to head to the LBC. Got to keep on chugging away on my ballet. Yesterday, Ruben and I installed, besides meeting Abstract Echo, the amazing Abstract Echo Jimmy, having some quality one-on-one time with him and receiving the most beautiful gift from him. I feel so honored. We got a chance to talk about linear fusion art. Go to that video. You can read up about linear fusion art. I put all the wording underneath that video. He's just a solid character. He's funny. His wittiness, his sarcasm sort of flows into his art, right? And on top of that, he's a Reiki. He's a Reiki instructor, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he's on his way to do his Reiki masters, and he allows that energy to flow into the art that he makes. Beautiful stuff. And then out of the kindness of his heart, he makes one for Vanessa Bryant, sends it anonymously. The most stunning the number 9 remembered art. Imagine Vanessa opening up that gift. Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. The light, the energy that flows through that piece of art as it turns around 360, going around and around. The light going through the prisms, the purples, the golds of the lake colors with the 9. Powerful stuff, my friends. Powerful stuff. Dan, love you, brother. Thank you. Jimmy, love you, brother. Thank you. Tris is in the house. He says, Twisted. You remember that group, Twisted Sister? What was their song, Twisted Sister? Wasn't that in the 80s? What did they sing? Help me out. I think they made an album, Slippery When Wet. Twisted Sister. What song did they make? What was their big song? I think it was Slippery When Wet. So, making great. Yesterday, Ruben and I fitted the entire exhaust system. Jeez, that's not easy. That is not easy. From the headers, from the engine all the way through to the back, all the different pieces of a classic car to fit all the components of an exhaust wasn't easy. A lot of rearranging, balancing, hangers, drilling. Holy mackerel. This, by the way, was Ryan when he was young. That should tell you a lot, right? Soccer. It was a scoring machine. His record in one game was 9 goals. They won 11-1, and he scored 9 goals. He's just like fearless. It's like a little beast, like a little animal. Rick Nelson in the house. Rick Nelson in the house. Just wanted to show you. She's coming along. She's coming along. Dropping a lot of cash and dineros into that one. Coming along. And I want to get it ready because on the side, I'm going to have a big magnet. Vote no on Proposition 22. And I'm going to drive up and down the coast, baby. Vote no on Proposition 22. Driving up and down the coast, baby. Making videos, live feeds. Oh, Slippery was Bon Jovi. Tris, thank you for... Which one was the one by Twisted Sister? Right? There was a band called Twisted Sister, right? I thought they made an album called Slippery When Wet. Maybe I'm wrong. Lorenzo Davis, you got it right, baby. He knows his cars. I love my classic cars. I really love this one, right? Common sense is so rare these days. It should be classified as a superpower. It's so true. It's so funny. So funny, but so true. Here are my boys from South Africa, some of the world's best boxers. Knocked out Eddie Chambers. A couple of these guys knocked out some of the big boys. There's me in the background there. They fought in Madison Garden, fought in Vegas, fought in all over the world, Germany, a lot of these guys. Stable of boxers. Dennis will appreciate that. Hello. Huggy, come Huggy. Feed on like this. This is my little love bug. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good. How's school?
Good. I don't really have that much work today.
I like what you did with your hair. What did you make it all nice and curly?
Yeah, I had braids in last.
Did you put your finger in the voltage, like into the electric current to make it?
No.
don't do that, right? That's a lot of work, right, to make your hair fuzzy like this?
I just braided it. I had it all day braided yesterday because I washed my hair, and then I had it braided last night.
So it goes curly after you braid it? It looks cool. I like it.
And then if you brush it out, it'll poof up all over your head.
It poofs out.
It'll be like really big.
So do you have to use a hair dryer, or what do you do?
Oh, well, I just left it. I just curled it.
You just let it dry?
Well, yeah, I just run my fingers through it so it doesn't poof up.
That's cool. I like that. Bam! I got to get down to the LBC to Long Beach. So almost 1 hour's over. James Akers, thank you, says Twisted Sister. The album is Stay Hungry. The song is We're Not Gonna Take It. We're not gonna take it. No, anymore. We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take Uber's abuse anymore. That's it. We're not gonna take it. That's the song I was looking for. James, help me out. James came through. Tris gave you $5, Danu.
Thank you so much.
Come say thank you. See there? Hey, it's for Danu.
Thank you so much. That means
good.
a lot.
Okay, good. You guys bombarding here my live stream. Good. All right. Well, hey, you're going to go back to the Zoom classes in school, right?
Yes, at 12:50 I have one.
So you see my hair is like ultra short. So Danu, I said to Danu, listen, here's this shaving device, Remington, just run it through my hair. And she's like, no, I can't do this. I said, let me show you how it's done. And she goes, oh, that's so sad. No, don't do that. I'm like, easy, army time. Whoa, we're in the army now. Whoa, we're in the army now. Exactly. These hot temperatures, you got to do it. Thanks, Tris. All right, everyone. Hey, you know what? It's 54 minutes. Let's try and make it 60. Huge shout out to this crew. Text me, email me, send me more photographs of that day, strategically positioned behind their billboard. And then they have their own billboard. If you support racial justice, vote no on Proposition 22. Slick Nick, no on Prop 22. Let's circle the videos. Let's give them the attention they deserve. They were out there in Oakland in the heat, putting in the hours. right? And Uber and Lyft, you need to pay $413 million into the California system. You shorted the California state $413 million between 2014 and 2019, right? We want to see that money, right? We want to see that money. It's time to pay in. It's a lot of money. In 2018 alone, just in 2018 alone, this is what the state is missing. Just in 2018. And the California taxpayer should not be bailing out Uber and Lyft. So California, to those 20.9 million voters out there, I'm asking you, vote no on 22, because you should not have to bail out Uber and Lyft ever again. You bailed them out during the pandemic. Why? Because they didn't pay $413 million into the system. All of their taxes are hidden in Ireland, in Guernsey, in Liechtenstein, in offshore accounts. That is wrong. It should be paid into the California system. The same to you, Mr. Jeff Bezos. The same to you, Apple. The same to you, Google. Start paying into the system and not taking your monies outside of the country. And especially, don't ship out jobs to other countries. Keep the jobs in California. Keep the jobs in the United States, and set up in Florida, set up in Texas. But please, you shouldn't be setting up in Hyderabad, India. You shouldn't be setting up in Manila in the Philippines. Keep the frickin' jobs here in the US of A, right? And these are big culprits here in California that are guilty of that. Shipping jobs out, not paying taxes because they have offshore accounts, and not paying into the state of California's unemployment insurance taxes, right? We got to stop that, and we will stop that with a no on 22. Sandy Bear, we will fire a lot of drivers if you vote no. That's the fear, my friend. Sandy, that is the fear. That is the fear that you put out there. There will not be any drivers. That is, you are swallowing and adopting the language of Uber and Lyft, right? You will have all those flexibilities, right? Nothing changes. Even with AB5, you enjoy those luxuries. You just have to start paying money in, right? What you are doing, Sandy, is classic fear-mongering, straight out of their mouths, into your ear, out of your mouth, into the live stream. You're a conductor. You're a natural conductor for Uber and Lyft. You're like, yes, Uber, yes, Lyft. Sandy Gabear, I'm Sandy Gabear, and I am following you. The cult, I'm following you. From Uber's mouth, in your ear, out your mouth, into the stream. Nobody gets fired. Nobody gets fired. That is the fear. Oh, we will pull out of California. They will never pull out of the biggest bluff in history. California should not have fallen for it, but the judge granted them extra time, right? Attorney General would have not fallen for it. You got to force their hand. They got to start paying, right? Sandy, if you want jobs overseas, if you want them to not pay monies into the system, go ahead, vote yes. Go keep on screwing up the state with that type of mentality. First football game today. Whoop, who's playing? And I believe Lakers play at 4. Lakers NBA. First football game. So today, what games do we have? 4 p.m. Exciting. Houston Rockets. California versus Texas. Good game. Great series, that one. And California, or Lakers, is leading that 2-1. Dennis Torres, magic words. Uber and Lyft need California. California does not need Uber and Lyft, right? And we don't need Uber and Lyft to put all the taxi companies and shuttle companies out of business. That's another thing that you need to understand, Sandy, is that if you support the race to the bottom in fares, subsidizing, discounting. If you're voting on yes, that's what you're supporting, right? You're supporting driving all the competitors and killing all the competitors, killing the taxi industry, killing the shuttle industry. That blue shuttle service that used to be all throughout California, it's gone thanks to Uber and Lyft. I spoke to their CEO. Why did you guys fold? Why did you file bankruptcy? Because of Uber and Lyft. Let this be a competitive playing ground where you can set your own rates and everybody makes money. We are not here to vote yes on 22 to drive our brothers and sisters out of business. I am here fighting for taxi drivers. I am here fighting for shuttle drivers. I am here fighting for true independent contractor status for all rideshare drivers. Not what you are hearing and what you are led to believe, where Sandy thinks, oh, we are independent contractors. No, you're not. Dennis says, yeah, Disneyland is moving to Texas. They had enough with California. Good. Listen, got to do what you got to do, right? Got to do. You can't pull this crap. Funny comment says there might be a surge after the game. There should be a surge after that game. The question is, are people allowed into the stadium, or are they going to do what the NBA does with all these TV screens? Because with those TV screens, you're not going to see any surge. You could be outside of Staples Center, you're not going to see a surge. Why? Because those characters are in Zoom attending those TV. You guys have seen that, right? Isn't that funny when they have these TVs lined up on the side of the court? At least the players think that there's like some sort of audience. It's a virtual audience, right? And with a virtual audience, you're not going to get a surge, correct? But if there are actually people allowed into a stadium 6-10 feet apart, great. You should see some form of surge afterward. Abstract Echo Jimmy correctly says, drivers were never independent contractors according to the Dynamex ABC test. Thank you. People just don't want to see that, Jimmy. People don't want to acknowledge that, or people don't want to understand that. And they follow Uber and Lyft like a cult. Like a cult. If they say so, I will do so. If they say yes, I will vote yes. No. Exactly. They should do games in VR. They've already done it with NBA games. Yeah, do it with hockey. Do it with get sports going. People need entertainment. People need sports during the pandemic. We can't be starved of all of these wonderful luxuries that we had in 2019. Bring it back. We need these good distractions. Sports is a huge one. Texans and Chiefs play today. Tris, if I can ask you, who is... Oh, I had no idea you're here. Come on over. No. Tell them who you are.
I'm Laura.
Yeah, hi, Laura. How did Laura sneak in here? Who are you voting for today? Texans play the Chiefs. Come tell them who. Come, tell them. Tell them who you're voting for today.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas. Mwah. Kansas City Chiefs. She's a big fan. I bought her a nice KC hat there when they played in the Super Bowl, and they won thanks to the youngster Malone. Tris says, I can smell it by Dodger Stadium right now. Really? Abstract says, hi, Laura.
Hi.
Hi. She's so involved making her food. Just give him a huge thank you because he made us that beautiful gift, that art piece. Abstract Echo Jimmy, say thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Where is he? There. Hi, thank you.
Cool. Okay, she said thank you. All right. I said we would do an hour. We did an hour. And now we go back to our daily lives. You might be sitting in the car right now waiting for a trip. You might be on your computer at home, right? Whatever you're doing, from my family to your family, we wish you health. We wish you safety. Please be careful out there. Please be smart out there. And keep it real, folks. Keep it real. Thank you, and thank you again. Have a good one.